Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and it's been a while. It's been a long while since I've done videos, because we had a whole thing with puppies and such. We had like a whole litter of 6 puppies. So I had to help take care of them. Make sure they don't tear up furniture and such. But they all got good homes now, so. Garbage. I had to move the garbage can. Today we're going to continue Koldo, the Arctic warrior. Chapter 3. An enemy awakes. Oh, I hit the tripod. Tom heard Elena behind him. Then a hand gripped his shoulder. "Tom," she whispered, "look at the walls." Tom glanced where Elena was pointing. Now that they were closer, he could see that the scales were trapped in a sheet of ice. "Well, the quest is never simple, is it?" he said, grinning. Together they walked over. Tom ran his hand over the surface of the ice, which must have been as thick as his arm. Close up, the scales shimmered like gold. Tom could see that they were delicate, not like the ones the market traders used in his village. What use could they be on a quest? What use could they be on a beast quest? "How can we get them out?" asked Elena. "Perhaps I can use my sword to chip away," Tom began to say. Elena clapped her hands over his mouth. His eyes were wide with fright as she nodded at something over his shoulder. Tom turned. 10 paces away lay a white bear, bigger than any Tom had ever seen. It was stretched out, eyes closed, with its head resting on its front legs. The animal's claws, yellow and gnarled, were as long as Tom's fingers, but looked as sharp as eagle's talons. Bones and skulls of long dead creatures were scattered around it. Prickles of sweat broke out across Tom's skin. Here's the sleeping polar bear. I would assume it's a polar bear since they're in an Arctic area. I would assume it's a polar bear. Since they usually live in cold places nowadays, they're kind of like all over. Unfortunately. Elena mentioned with her head jerking in the direction they'd come. Her meaning was clear. Shall we go back? Tom turned towards the sleeping creature. If it woke up, the bear would be angry. Tom couldn't risk either of them being injured. But they couldn't go back. How could they hope to free Koldo whilst the magical scales were still trapped behind the ice? Tom put his mouth to Elena's ear. "We've got to get the scales," he whispered. Elena's jaw clenched with determination. "Then do it quickly," she replied. Tom drew his sword, and as the blade slipped from the scabbard, the metal let out a hiss. The bear shifted slightly and twitched its black nose. Elena drew an arrow and placed the shaft against her bow. Add. Tom knew she wouldn't kill a defenseless animal. But if the bear woke up and saw a weapon trained on it, it might think twice about attacking. Tom placed the tip of his sword against the ice, using his good hand to steady the blade. He leaned into the hilt with his shoulder. A flake sheared away and scattered onto the ground. Tom felt a bead of sweat fall from his brow and watched it splash against the cave floor, immediately freezing to the ground. "I have to do this," he thought. "Come on." He pressed again until another silver sliver of ice fell away. This was going to be long, slow work. What about... An idea formed in his head. Tom put his sword aside, and Elena gave him a puzzled look. Tom lifted his shield to the wall. If Nanook's spell could keep them warm, maybe it could warm the ice too. Elena understood and smiled. In a short time, the surface of the ice broke into beads of water. Drips began to fall, slowly in a wave of pulsing heat. The ice thinned. Alert, Tom watched the sleeping bear. The animal's flanks heaved with huge breaths. Suddenly, the ice gave a groan, and a great section began to slip away. With a crash of icy sludge, a chunk of ice hit the ground and scattered. Elena and Tom stared at the bear, frozen to the spot. "Not now," Tom muttered. "Not when we're so close." He wielded the bear to carry on sleeping. But with a groan of despair, Tom saw the bear's jaws open in a mighty yawn. He caught a glimpse of its long white teeth against the red of its throat. They'd woken the bear. The animal shifted lazily, stretching its legs. Then it raised its head and spotted Tom and Elena. Its lips peeled back in a growl as it leaped up, standing on its two hind legs. Tom could see just how massive it was. It was at least twice his own height and would have even dwarfed Storm. Here is the awake polar bear. Again, I'm assuming it's a polar bear since they're in the Arctic. Then again, it could be a black bear or a brown bear. Doesn't specify which. Now, Tom could see just how massive it was. It was at least twice his size, twice his own height, and would have even dwarfed Storm. The bear roared. Ad. The bear roared. Tom and Elena were blasted with heat. Stinking breath. Hot, stinking breath. Strings of spittle stretched between its jaws. Tom could not tear his eyes away from the bear's hooked claws. The bear dropped down to its front legs again and began to run straight towards them. Tom saw Elena's bow dangling uselessly from her hand. She stared in terror as the bear galloped across the cave floor, its body heaving from side to side. It would be on them in moments. "What do we do?" Elena asked. Tom knew he had to think of something fast before the bear ended the quest and their lives for good. That is chapter 3. An enemy awakens. An enemy awakes. Not awakens. I don't know what I'm saying. It's been so long since I read out loud, so. It's been so long since I've read out loud, my goodness. How y'all been doing so far? How y'all been doing this year so far? Hope you're doing well. I've been busy with puppies and such. But, you know, what can you do? But to just keep on going. I'm probably gonna try to upload more since it's been like 2-3 months since I uploaded a video. And I didn't mean for it to be that long. So, I don't mean to not make videos. I want to do videos, but I got a lot of stuff going on outside of YouTube, you know? I also got my art to do as well. So it's been busy for me. We had like 6 puppies. And it took a little while. It took like 4, 5, 6 weeks for them to fully grow up and get out of the house. 2 new families and such. So it's been busy. It was a learning experience, so I guess. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this read-through of Beast Quest. And I hope to see you in the next one. I also hope you like and subscribe if you guys are interested. And we'll see you guys. Bye!